Now then, what's going on? It's Friday, nearly at the end of the week. It's the Howson Ronaldo Brown. Okay.
Can you believe we've got 1 week? We've got one more week of this before Premier League returns.
Yeah, I can, yeah.
And do you also know there's another one next month?
I was bored of them 22 years ago.
Is this a new thing, though? Has it always been that many, or have I just not noticed before?
It's definitely been for a few years. I remember about 10 years ago going to England, Scotland on Remembrance Day at Wembley. So that was obviously in November. Thingy one.
Do you know what? Listen, it is what it is. We've got to try and pay the bills anyway. And unfortunately, I've still not watched any international games. I tried to watch a bit of England versus Wales.
It was boring.
Boring as hell.
And do you know what?
Do you know what I mean?
Tommy Tuchel is absolutely bang on. That stadium is dead, mate. Dead. Snooze fest.
That's a good shout, you know. I don't think I've ever watched a Wembley game and thought and got the vibe there was an atmosphere.
It's shit. Like, so back to that, roll it back. It's England, it's Scotland, it's Wembley, it's Remembrance Sunday. They had a big mural of a poppy, right? This should be my jam, right? And I'm English. And I'm sitting there, it was me and McCullough that went, two of the staunchest England fans you've ever met. And we were sat next to the block where all the Scottish fans was. And the Scottish fans are a buzz, right? They're all absolutely steaming drunk. They're all wearing kilts. They've all got like Highland Regiment hats on. They're all like, they're dressed like ready to rock and roll for the part, yeah? And it isn't Rangers and Celtic stuff. It is just Scotland, yeah? You don't see club shirts at it. And then the England fans are just drippy, accountant, barber jacket, button-down shirt, chino wearing, specky old middle-aged pricks, and they're singing, just going England at the Scotland fans. And I'm thinking, I don't identify with the Scotland fans. I can appreciate the colour and the vibe that they brought, and I don't associate and identify with this fucking accountant-looking cunt that's stood up here just fucking going England and then sitting down. What are you doing?
If you match the description that he's just described there, I'm so sorry.
I only apologise to you if you're not an England fan. If you are an England fan, well, I've just nailed it, Anna. So you can suck it.
Because the last game I went to England Hungary at the Molyneux last year. It might have been a couple of years ago.
Probably a different crowd to Wembley.
And it was nothing like what you just described. It was the complete opposite. It felt like non-league, League Two watchers getting an England day out, and it felt very.
I've watched England
working
youth
class.
teams,
Felt very working class.
And watched one at Chesterfield. I think James Garner and Ethan Laird played, and that was a good crowd. That was a good crowd with a good atmosphere. I've been to shitloads of England games. I go as a football fan. I don't go as an England fan. You know what I mean?
Remember England versus Jamaica, Old Trafford?
Oh, 2006.
I didn't go, but I know my mum did, and it was like 7-0 England. Peter Crouch.
I was going to say, I vaguely remember Peter Crouch doing something.
Yeah, I think he did the robot that day. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure.
That rings a bell. Yeah. I think that all.
But apparently there's a bit of an atmosphere there because it's obviously there's a lot of.
It was a home game for Jamaica.
Home game, big Jamaican culture in Manchester.
let's be honest, right? Yeah. There is probably more Jamaicans in Manchester than Jamaica. What's the population of Jamaica? Wait, I'm probably wrong, but what's the population?
Probably wrong.
Is it a couple of mil? Because it's not a big island, is it?
It's not a big island, no. But it's
if it's
still,
in the hundreds of thousands.
No, it's not in hundreds of thousands. It's definitely got.
Is it a couple of mil?
He'll have at least a mil. Someone can Google that for me.
All right, I'm probably wrong.
But definitely not more. But there is a big.
It's definitely a home game.
There's a big Jamaican Caribbean culture, Afro-Caribbean culture in the south of Manchester, anyway. So yeah, there was a lot of people. But to be fair, there is more Jamaicans in England than Jamaica.
Yeah, because London's got
loads.
London on its own is probably like neck and neck with Jamaica.
In terms of population?
Yeah, especially when you think about like the Jamaican descendants and the diaspora, like fucking 1,000,000%.
Exactly. And 2.8 million is the answer.
That's bigger than I thought.
Yeah, it's big, exactly. So, to be fair, it's not a huge island, but for example, when I land in Montego Bay and I'm driving down to Clarendon where my family lives, it's still like a 5-hour drive.
Really?
Yeah. So it's got enough size about it. You know why I know this for sure is because we actually did a little bit of trivia yesterday. Me, Joe. I know this is so off top. Me, Joe. We don't care.
There's no rules.
XG files.
There's nothing to talk about.
XG files. Nothing else to talk about.
We'll get right into this.
You know what I mean? And people in the comments can join in. It was a bit of trivia yesterday, which is what are the 10 least populated countries in the world?
Least populated?
Yes.
By sheer number, or are we talking like by like the size of the country versus the nation?
Nah, it's not.
Because like Australia would be like
nothing to do with density. It's just
density. That's the word I was looking for.
It's just sheer numbers, and they have to be obviously sovereign states as well. They're not countries.
So we can't have like Vatican City.
No, that's on the list, but it's when the quiz came up, it was saying they can't be part of almost like like a separate island, like a separate island. San Marino's one.
All right, so let's see how close I get to this. So San Marino, Vatican City, Monaco.
Yes. I actually remember them.
Good start here. Andorra.
No, outside the top 10.
How many of these are Pacific Islands?
There's a couple, but a couple of them are so obscure.
American Samoa.
No. And do you know what? Do you know how you should have a bit of a
Christmas Island?
Nah. You know I should have a bit of a clued guess. A couple of them are. We talk about Jamaica. A couple of them are Caribbean countries. You can have that.
Oh, okay. What's the small one? St. Lucia?
St. Lucia, no.
Jamaica's a big one. Bermuda's a big one.
Yeah.
So we're talking St. Kitts?
Yes, St. Kitts and Nevis is one.
St. Bart's?
No. There's another one. There's another Caribbean country, but I don't think you'll get it. But this is the guess. The Caribbean country is almost twin named and sounds like another bigger Caribbean country.
Oh. Is it Dutch? Antigua?
Antigua, just outside the top 10. I remember that. I think that was like 11th. Not Montserrat, no. Has it got a double name like Dutch or French? No. Not Turks and Caicos. I'm trying not to go chat because if they get it right, I'm gonna have to make it. I'm gonna have to not bait it out. There is a right answer in the chat, but I don't know if you'll be able to identify it. Andrew and Dave are correct.
Who would I know from there, or who would I associate with there?
The country that I'm talking about, that's almost twin named, similar. That might be a port, but it's like Spanish speaking.
Spanish speaking Caribbean island.
Think about a Spanish speaking big Caribbean island.
Big. I actually don't know the Spanish speaking Caribbean islands.
Yeah, couple of people have got it.
Haiti?
No. You don't know a big, and it's not Cuba. Cuba's not, is it? I don't know, is Cuba in the Caribbean?
Am I going to kick myself when I hear this? I'll just maybe. It.
I'll just say Dominica.
Ah, right, yeah.
So I
thought that was a big gaff.
Dominican Republic, Dominica and, so the two Caribbean countries are Dominica and St. Kitts in the least 10 populated country. But the other one, you said Monaco, you've said San Marino, you said Vatican City. Liechtenstein's one, yes. Okay. But, all right, so you've got 7, right? The 3 you're not going to get, so you might as well move on.
All right, who are they?
I don't have, if it's like Palau or something along them lines.
Is that one of the Pacific Islands?
Yes, and there's one that's in like around the Micronesia area.
Like Indonesia, Thailand and stuff?
It begins with T. I remember it now. Tuvalu.
Oh, okay.
Tuvalu is
one.
That
sounds like a Pacific island.
Tuvalu, Palau, and I can't remember the other one. One of them the next one begins with an N, and I can't remember it. But yeah.
Anyway, that was us this week. See you next week.
See you next time. Bit of trivia. But that's Palau, yeah, that's it. So that sums up what sometimes we'll be upstairs, and every now and again, it's usually initiated by Joel. It'll just throw out that trivia.
Because they're Wordle geeks.
Yeah, and they'll throw out a trivia like that. And they like doing it early because they say it gets your brain firing for the day. But should we talk about Zirkzee now?
Maybe. I don't know. Do you want to?
We can talk. You know what? We can talk about it quickly, and be able to excuse, and then we can talk about what we want. Get me?
Send it. So, right, United have been linked with this guy called Carl Etta Eong.
By Ben Jacobs.
Ben Jacobs.
Reliable.
Yep, pretty good. 21.
Levante.
He's got 8 and 8 so far in La Liga. Is that why he's been linked?
Probably. He's also been scouted by Barcelona. So I don't know if scouts of different clubs talk or whether they keep it quite confidential, but it does seem like once a big club eyes someone up, all of a sudden
everyone's on him.
Everyone else is on him. But it's been almost viewed as Zirkzee's obviously voiced about his concerns about his playing time and possibly looking for a way out in January, which I think is probably possible. And then it's a question of then
would you loan him rather than sell him? Because I think there's a player in Zirkzee. I think you loan him if you think that Amorim's not going to be here.
I think he's just not suited to the Premier League.
No, maybe.
In terms of player and actually ability, I think he's got a lot of ability, but he's also, unfortunately, he's a bit too much of a specialist player. He's a striker, but he's not really a striker. All his attributes aren't striker material.
He's number 10, isn't he?
He's like a 10, really, but then he's not the normal guile and that you get from a number 10.
Yeah, if you're being ruthless about it, he's probably not going to be the number 10 that you expect a Premier League number 10. And we've also got so many other number 10s in the squad. I mean, United are pretty sorted for 10s, aren't we?
Pretty sorted for 10s?
Pretty sorted for 10s.
Yes.
Especially if we flip to a 4-2-3-1. Like, say they got a new gaffer in, which obviously is not going to happen for 3 years.
It does help, though, that the likes of Amad Diallo and Mbuemo that can play 10, but also they are right wings.
Bruno, you got your Mount,
Cunha.
you got Cunha. I mean, you're pretty kind of, and then Zirkzee as well. He ain't ever gonna stretch the defence. He's always gonna play in between the lines.
For example, because like Cunha's more 10 than he is left wing.
Yeah.
Whereas like Mbuemo and Amad, they can play 10,
wingers.
But they can be more wingers.
Which I think is why you can go a little bit more defensive with a Mazraoui or a Delo on the right, and you're seeing Dorgu basically playing like a left winger kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff that you spoke about. But would you be against, I know United have so many needs, would you be against them looking at him as almost like a back striker? Or is it one of those where United have Sesko, who's basically a bit of a project striker in himself? Do you need, if you was to get a backup striker, do you need it to be almost like a bit of an older sure thing that's just kind of reliable and won't expect too many minutes?
Yeah, I think if you was looking, if you've got your project striker and you go, that's, to go fully American, the face of the franchise. I think if you went with someone that was a little bit more in that sort of mould, like what you don't ever want to do, because the delicate little flowers and snowflakes, these footballers with delicate little egos, they get the nose pushed out of joint, don't they? And sometimes it's fair. When we had Mason Greenwood, Jadon Sancho, and then we signed Anthony, it just fucked all of them. Nothing good came out of having 3 players within a couple of years of each other. You almost want...
Why did that happen, though? Because
we're run by bankers.
And each of them failed.
And they all failed, yeah.
Yeah.
We were run by bankers with the football knowledge of a fucking can of Coke. So I think if you were doing it properly, I think you would have 3 players for every position. I think you have your young prospect that is well happy if he gets 5 or 10 minutes. Like, fucking yes, come on, lad.
Because they get experience, get apps, and also they might get a bit of an appearance bonus.
Yeah.
For them to go
just loving life.
Yeah.
Just loving life. I'm on the bench, I didn't come on. Who cares? It's fucking good times and I'll play tomorrow.
The only thing that's annoying for them is having to do them runs after the game.
Yeah, but it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want your first choice player, which is someone between 22 and 28, peak, prime. That's the guy. He's fit and he plays, and the whole club knows that he plays. That's his spot, yeah? And then if you whipped it out on the other end, an older head in that position, 33, 34, been there, done it, got a trophy cabinet to show for it. Your Johnny Evanses, ultimate pro. Almost like what you're getting out of Jordan Henderson a little bit. Someone like that in that position where you go, especially if he was playing twice a week, where you go, midweek game, it's Grimsby away. We throw him in and he gets the job done and he don't fuss and he's happy days with that level of appearance, but your main guy gets the night off. And you don't do it with all your main guys and bring in all of your backups. You have the blend, and that's where management comes in, is that you choose the right times to take him out and maybe he plays 4 games in a row, but then you bring your older statesman in to get you through this game because it's a bit of a tough one. or actually, no, now's the time for the young lad to have a bit of a go. And you have those 3 players in rotation for every single position. If you was a club that had that going on, you'd be in great shape. Because what you don't want is everyone with the same level of expectation.
Yeah, it's
because
true.
Mason thought he was starting, Anthony thought he was starting, Sancho thought he was starting, and then they all spat the dummy out.
I think that's also a big problem with football at this level, because football at this level, usually the case happens where I feel like you don't really get many players signed of a decent quality that are actually okay with being backup. So getting someone that's actually going to be a decent backup is very difficult, and the only way that you can get by it is if the team's been successful, so you can't really bend it.
Yeah, because someone's going to be happy to sit on the bench and pick medals up.
Yes.
But I think it's also about being honest. You can't sell them a dream. You can't sit there in a meeting and be like, oh, you're going to play every week, you're on blah, 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 blah. You have to go there and say, we're looking for someone that's going to come in and play 15 to 22 games a season for us when we're in Europe and when we're in all the cup competitions, and be the backup to that guy. That's our guy. But if he gets injured, we want someone we know we can trust. That's you. And I think there'll be plenty of players out there who go, that is me. Yeah, I'll have a bit of that. I've got a bit of an iffy ankle. I've got a bit of an iffy hip. And 50 games a season right now at this stage of my career doesn't feel like something I've got in me.
And a lot of United fans as well, I don't see what you think, say these type of backup roles and that United should be looking to fill with academy stars and academy players. But you don't...
Different role. The different. You absolutely should have 7 or 8 slots in your squad in your 25 for academy players, and they should be getting minutes, and that academy record should not be anywhere near in doubt, because in an ideal world you've got anywhere between 2 and 5 of those first choice prime players are academy lads. Anywhere between 2 and 5 of your older heads, it could be, look at Johnny Evans, Tom Eaton, you know what I mean? They're still academy lads. You could have had those older statesman slots filled by people like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously all of your 7-8 slots of your young prospects should be academy lads. So you could have a squad that's got anywhere between 5 and 12, 13, 14, 15 of them slots are actually covered by academy if you was correctly run. That ain't going to happen by weekend, and that ain't going to happen by next year. But think about how much you've saved. If it costs you on average 50 to 60 million for your basic player nowadays, which it does, having 15 of those come from your academy, whether they're your Hollywood kid, whether they're your elder statesman, or whether they're your prospects, it's just saved you $500 million. That's some real money. Yeah. Think about if you just went out and went turbo and bought the best of everything that you could get for the academy. It cost you 1 signing. And how many signings would you make? Or would you save on not having to do that?
It's just that when they're talking about obviously expenditure and cost and what will be cost effective, they generally usually think that the cost effective approach is you're a little bit more, when you buy the best, if you buy one signing that's played at the best level, played for PSG or whatever, you feel like it's a bit more of a sure thing, because you've got to think about the amount of academy players that come through that actually make an imprint on the first team, especially at a club besides United.
It's low.
Yeah.
It is low. It is a gamble. We've got a couple of super chats here that we'll go to. Once we've done these decks, just roll it onto the other one and just see if we've missed any others. Damien says, appreciate you lads doing content this week. Just lost my granddad to cancer. Fuck cancer, keep up the good work. So sorry to hear that, mate.
Definitely sorry for your loss. My condolences. That is actually very, very upsetting. But thanks for being here with us.
Brian says, is this a year for Shea Lacey? See who's in England training. Is right back and central midfield the next target? I'm not 100% sure that right back is definitely the next target. I think central midfield is, and then the reason that I think we're looking at Eong, I do think a backup striker is. I think, look at how in the shit we would be if Sesko went out. There is nobody to.
That's what people have mentioned, saying that, but Zirkzee's looking at it from his side, thinking I've got World Cup possibility at the end of the season. I'm in and around in the squad. If I'm just here sitting on the bench, not able to play, it ain't gonna happen. With also the fact that United don't have midweek games, don't basically out of the EFL Cup already. Where's going to be the scope for Zirkzee to get minutes when it seems like him and Cunha's ahead of him in terms of a secondary striker option. Especially when he likes Mount so much. I think he'd rather, instead of starting Zirkzee, he'd rather start Cunha up top if Sesko is injured. And play Mount left. So,
I think you're right. I think you've absolutely nailed it. And yeah, you're right. I think I questioned this after the game at weekend, like, because I did see Zirkzee warming up, and I was like, when's he coming on?
Yeah.
What's the best film I've watched this year? Warfare. That was pretty good. You seen it yet?
No,
it's on Amazon or Netflix. Or I think it's Amazon.
I've not seen it. Steve House says our left wing tomorrow having Jamaican influences. I don't know. I've not seen what the squad is yet.
He's in the squad.
Right. Do you know?
But you know how long you're getting tomorrow, so
I don't know. It depends how the game goes, isn't it? Could be less than what was said.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah. Under physio's orders, he's no more than 20 or 30. So we shall see.
Fine. And Sim James John says with Coleman, which is the Holland manager, because there was a massive kick-off because De Ligt didn't get selected for the Holland team, because Coleman, who's been Holland manager for a few years, has not really ever rated him. But that does happen. Like some managers have preferences, whatever. It doesn't really matter. I think he prefers, like, obviously Van Dijk. He's nailed on. Then you got like De Vrij.
I could understand him not maybe starting, but
Nathan
I don't
Ake.
understand him not getting in the squad.
Nathan Ake. I know Timber's not really a centre half anymore. He's more right back. But yeah, there's a few people that he rates above De Ligt. He's not really too rated by Coleman. I think Coleman's made comments about he likes his centre half being really, really good on the ball, and he thinks the other defenders are better on the ball.
I don't know where this has come from about De Ligt being shit on the ball, because he's not shit on the ball.
He's not great, just functional. Yeah. I've always described him. I'm not as been the biggest like super fan of De Ligt as a lot of people think, but I can't argue. I think he's been solid since he's come here.
I love how aggressive he defends. He's like a 2025, like how Vidic would have to adapt his game a little bit, I think, to playing. Yes,
because for me, De Ligt has to be good and have ability, because he's been a starting centre half in Europe since he's like 17, and he was almost captain at Ajax of like 18. He had to have something about him. But someone says Coleman hates United players for some reason. I don't know if it is that, but there is a lot of, when you talk about ego with players, you get a lot of that with managers as well, even more so. And I think a lot of managers overcompensate as well behind closed doors, because especially when they're managing big clubs and big teams where they know it's going to be big stars and egos, they almost like
go firefight it,
over-egg it and firefight it.
Yeah, I think that happens. Look, managers absolutely have blind spots when it comes to players.
They do.
I probably have it myself with some of ours. Well, maybe it's blind spots, maybe it's just certain traits you prefer.
Every manager that's ever existed, Steve, so it's not even a personal thing. Every manager's like that.
Well, that was, Joe, what? That was one of the questions we've got. So we'll go to Instagram. Someone says, what's my strengths and weaknesses as a coach? So you've obviously had some really, really good coaches. What would you say the strengths and weaknesses I've got as a coach?
You know what you talk about? I actually think, I'd say you actually are a really good manager.
Do you reckon? Yeah. I actually would put that as my weaknesses. I don't fucking hate talking to you.
Nah, I don't think. I wouldn't say it is a weakness. Because one of the things that managers should be good at is like almost he's creating a together, almost like unified team environment and team dynamic. And I think you do that. And I think you said, hey, you talk to everyone. You might not like waffle with everyone, but I feel like you create the team atmosphere, and then you make everyone feel included. And I think you leave it up for people that might feel like they're on the periphery. It's almost on them if that's the case in terms of getting involved or trying to get in the mix. But I think manage it's not a weakness. I think it's actually one of the strengths.
I don't like. I say hello to everyone, but I don't go out of my way to be like.
Now that I've said that, man, I think it'd be much funner if I talk about the weaknesses. I want to try.
Go on, talk about the weaknesses.
Now I want to try and insult you.
One thing I think I do well.
Like Amorim, he's stubborn.
One thing I think I do
you got stubbornness. You're stubborn.
I think that you lot are well prepared.
But you're well prepared. Yes, that's his strength. We get a lot of information. I think everyone has a complete understanding. You make it digestible. But what I will say is, Steve's stubborn as hell. He's like Ruben Amorim. So I think you could be a little bit more malleable with your tactics and your changes as well. And the whole pre-planned subs thing is definitely a weakness.
Yeah, I know players hate that.
Do you know what I mean?
I know players hate that. But a lot of the time it is just because
he's in-game.
I do see it as people have come out here, they've given up their afternoon, I want to get them on the pitch.
And in-game tweaks. Yo, Steve's default whenever we need to win a game is just to throw 19 attackers on the pitch. That's your only tactical tweak.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean?
I was raised by Sir Alex Ferguson. More attackers.
But I feel
we'll figure it out.
I feel like you could be a little bit more malleable in like your approach to different matches.
Maybe, but I think that I do agree on the stubbornness. But I think coaches have to have the one ideal way of playing, and I would absolutely acknowledge that I do only have that one way of playing. I don't know how to coach like long ball percentage, get after it sort of football. So we pretty much do only have that one way, and if we do try and send it, we invariably don't really do it very well because we don't train for it.
Yeah.
I can't coach it.
Nah, fair enough. But to be fair, do you know what's mad? I thought I'd actually have more weaknesses to talk about. Do you know what I mean? I think you're solid. That's why you got your fucking UEFA soon. But
if I can fucking get
but do you know what's mad? I think you know what's interesting about Steve. I think Steve, when he goes on his videos and he goes online and he does his tactical stuff, you nerd out more with the like tactical pseudo pep stuff on camera and stuff like that, but you don't do that as much like when you're actually coaching. You keep it like relatively more simple than you talk about it when you're online.
I don't think you can analyse our level to that level.
Do you know what I mean? So I think, so to be fair, I think that's actually probably a positive. Do you know what I mean? You can almost like formulate like a bit of a game model. Everyone knows what they're doing, and then you keep it like simple enough and digestible. You don't just come in and nerd out about tactics and formations and frameworks every single week and every training session. Whereas you're more likely to do that when you go on camera. Is that baiting you out?
No, I don't think so. I think it's relative to the audience, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have a high turnover of players. I get an hour and a half with you a week.
It's not a lot, is it? Yeah.
I can't overload you with information, but also at the same time, our game model is simple. There isn't layers and layers and layers to it. We don't have 19 different set plays. I don't have any information about opposition either for us to work on. So what we do is just if we do the basics right with what we're going to do with and without the ball, we'll win more games than we lose, right?
Yeah. Another weakness, discipline.
Yeah, fair.
He's got poor discipline today. Towards refs, towards opposition, and can get too emotional.
However,
because it depends on the mood of your day in it as well.
Yeah, there was a game a few weeks ago, wasn't there, where I think I said I'm going to be fighting today, or I'm going to get sent off. And then what annoyed me was Claire nailed it. She was like, if you don't stop, you're going to get sent off. And I think within 47 seconds, I'd been sent off. That annoyed me, that she was so fucking right. But sometimes so opposition, obviously, some of them recognise me from what we do, and some of them chat shit. I think a lot of people don't expect me to say anything back, but I do. Yeah. And I think that rattles them sometimes.
Nice, it's true.
Well, we got into, so I'm not going to say who, so don't bait it out because I don't want it to ever come back on us. But there was absolutely a big player for an opposition team that was feeling himself, whose head we got right into recently.
Yeah.
And his head fell right off.
I know, but I'm not gonna rile anyone up because we got to cash them checks tomorrow. I know what football's like. Football as a way of humbling you, everyone. It does. It just has to be your day. I've had my fair few. Someone said your left foot could do some work. Some work.
Yeah, fucking hell. I tried to pass a ball back to the lads.
Do you reckon if it was 5 months later, you might? Do
it.
you reckon if you was a little bit lighter on your feet? It's all from the legs, isn't it?
What?
The left hook.
What about?
Do you know what he's talking about, the left hook when you had that fight?
Here's the thing: you're on wet grass. Players are wearing boots. I'm wearing smooth-soled shoes.
I think
you got no purchase whatsoever.
No, but I was there. It did hit him though. It just, I don't know. He looked on the camera like it didn't, but it looked like it did hit in person. But also, it's one of those where it kind of was. It's a bit of a positive that he didn't obviously hit him flush on the jaw and like he was like KO'd or something. That would have been 10 times worse.
Yeah, because I still got fucked anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
I got fined and banned in it anyway, so it's one of them, innit?
Has had more grapples than I did assist this month.
Yeah, speaking of which, you was in the shit the other week, off the bench.
Yeah. Obviously, guys trying to jump our YGs, our youngsters, man, can't have that. at all. What type of team would we be if we let that slide?
No, I'm very happy with that, to be honest. It is one of the things that's up in the changing room, one in, all in. And it should be. It is a mentality thing, that.
It is. I think it's because, obviously, with Paddock, especially early days, it was kind of like YouTube, and then people like had a little bit of animosity towards us and just kind of nailed to every games. I think we were a little bit soft against that in the first couple of years as Paddock.
I think we're in a good spot with it now. I think we've got
a
good group of lads. The team spirit's good. And Joe, while we're giving out a bit of praise, Ronnie got injured in August. And
August?
It was August.
Clay Brow, when was that?
August.
Must have been right at the end.
It was, but it was August.
Yeah.
So Ronnie got injured in August, and we've had a couple of knocks before. Do you have a hamstring for a bit?
Yeah. I think I've had more injuries in the past couple of years, Paddock, than I ever had.
But one thing I've seen with him this season when he got injured is obviously we have a physio that we have employed at the club. We have him on a Tuesday, and obviously they're on a match day. But Ronnie's come and done his rehab on a Tuesday and on match day when he's not in the squad because he's injured. And he's come and he's done his rehab. As everyone's doing the warm-up, he's there working with a physio, and he's back in the squad tomorrow. But I am really fucking impressed with how you've got after that this year, so well done.
I think that should be normal, you know. I know it's still voluntary.
But I think what I was chatting to the other coaches about this the other day, and I said, I think, obviously we've got a couple of lads that are out with long-term ACLs.
Yeah, Damani's come back, but Damani's kind of like trying to bully him a bit into just make me play. Whereas physio, man, because he proper knows his stuff. Like,
he's good. He's really good, yeah.
He's basically, I've had physios and that before, like academy level and that. He's same caliber and quality as them already. So and he knows procedures and processes to going back to playing. It's a little bit different at this level where he can kind of just get thrown back in. It's not like that at higher up. So Damani, coming off that knee injury, he would probably need, like, if he was on the academy, he'd need 2 weeks with the physio doing stuff on the pitch and like in the gym before he actually goes back. Because you can't ever replicate the chaotic nature of playing football against people.
Twisting,
you know what I mean?
Turning,
exactly.
Impact. So you can't.
You have to be more than ready to go back. And Damani's just like, play me. Do you know what I mean? Because I wanted to be back the other day, but it was like, nah. But I think so. He's got Damani that's with him. Yeah,
so Damani will be doing it tomorrow. So Damani will be at pitch side tomorrow, getting him done before thingy. But we've got Dan and Christian as well, and as soon as they're able to put boots on and go and do a bit themselves, they'll be doing it as well. I'm going to make it compulsory for returning players to do that now, because I think that it's been really good for you. But I think it's a good use of the resources that we've got as a club. And like I said, Ken's he is good, but how daft would I be, and how daft would you be for us to bring in a subject matter expert like that helps you lot get fit, stay fit,
and not use it? Yeah,
and not listen to him. Like, do you know what I mean? There is an unnamed player who's a fucking had the ball, who was told on Tuesday he needs a scan and he shouldn't be playing. He isn't playing for me, but he played yesterday.
Who?
You'll probably know who. Don't say who, but you'll probably know who if you thought about it.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
And anyway, what's the point of us having a fucking physio if you're not going to listen to him? So he's not in my squad. But
right.
It's one of those.
But anyway, is there any super chat we've missed before we dip on this wonderful Friday afternoon? Disco Stu says Ronnie's been great this season on and off the pitch. I'll read that from Stu. Stu's always bigging me up in the messages. He always gives me a little jilt before the game. Doesn't go unnoticed. It's very much appreciated. Do you know what I mean? Not even my mum does.
The Irish says Ronnie's been a bit of a father figure for the kids. It's been mint to watch. I do like the way you have all protected the young lads coming through.
It's because they're good lads, man. The youngsters, they're actually. It makes it easier that there are good lads, and we're even trying to get Noah to speak a bit more as well. Been getting there.
Yeah, but we've got kind of what we sort of said United need to have in a little bit, where we haven't got that many elder statesmen sort of types, but we obviously have all of these 16-year-olds that are absolutely chomping at the bit to get minutes, and if they get 5 minutes, they want to play more, obviously, but some of them are playing 3 games a weekend anyway, so it's not a massive issue if they do and don't come on, but they're coming on and they're having an impact, aren't they?
Yep, 100%.
So, if you're interested in look, tomorrow.
There's no games.
There is no games. We're at Hyde. It's free entry. 3 p.m. kickoff. If you fancy coming down, it's a full stadium. I mean, it's not a grass pitch on the side of a fucking motorway somewhere. It's a proper stadium. If you want to come and watch us, free entry, come and check it out. If you're like, I can't come and watch it, I live in New Zealand, don't worry, Petal, because what we have been doing is we've been putting games on Twitch. As of tomorrow, we are putting games on Twitch and on YouTube. So you'll be able to watch from YouTube, wherever you are. You don't need to go and get Twitch downloaded, nothing like that. It's totally free. Come and join in the chat. Maybe see Ronnie's return, last 25, 30 minutes or so. Or watch the whole game and see, actually, are we full of shit? Or do we maybe know what we're talking about? Tough game this tomorrow.
Yes, it definitely is.
Only lost one, haven't they, all season, same as us.
Decent. And Matty Cooper says, Steve, where is your hoodie from? And it's interesting because, am I wrong or right? Yeah. Usually people do it the other way around, innit? Am I right or wrong?
Don't know.
I've completely twisted that. Can say yes or no in the chat, yeah, but look at Steve's, look, put the camera on Steve, look at the way he's dressed. Obviously, he's not stood up. When he's stood up when he's worse, he fully looks like, do you know when you're watching crime dramas, like UK, US crime dramas, and you've got the former army veteran turned criminal hitman or muscle? You look like...
Am I emanating that vibe?
Yes, you're emanating that vibe of people hire you for paid hits.
What a job.
That's how you look, do you know what I mean? And then you get a mugshot when you try and find him. It's like, oh, former army veteran, whatever regiment you was in. you very much look veteran vibes.
Well, to be fair, I'm wearing 2 veteran brands. This one's Jay's, and obviously this is Staz and Louis Through Dark. So,
yeah,
all former lads.
Nice.
I mean, all lads that are doing all right for themselves, and I like that. Lads leave the squadrons and go and do bits. It's nice.
It's a very good jacket, though. It's good stuff, innit? It doesn't look cheap, though. I'll tell you that.
We have had a question. So obviously this morning I spoke about the takeover, but I haven't actually spoke to Ronnie about it. So yesterday morning, and maybe even Wednesday night, if you want to get technical about it, there was a little bit of news broke from Turki Al-Sheikh. Was like, he's hearing that United are in advanced talks to be bought out or get investment. Everyone kind of poured a bit of water on that yesterday, and then he came out last night and was like, actually, let's double down on it a little bit. They're not from my country, it ain't me. And then we saw Alex Crook and a couple of others that was saying, we're hearing it's UAE based and it's including some former players. And then I think Charlotte Dunker was on telly earlier.
Yeah, Charlotte Dunker.
Update.
Obviously, it's been reported a little bit more stiffer than when you actually hear her say it, but it's like, that's mad phrasing. But anyway, she says, she basically was saying that 5 billion is the asking price for Glazers, and if 5 billion is met, she can very much see the Glazers buy it in on a full sale. I just don't know what the ins and outs are. I think there's a lot of intricacies involved in the selling of a £5 billion asset. Do you know what I mean?
It's not the sort of thing that happens instantly. I don't know what the regulations are for notifying the other shareholders, because obviously there's a lot of shareholders in United, not just the Glazers.
And does Ratcliffe have first refusal?
Yes, so Ratcliffe owns 27.9%, something like that, and he also has first refusal if the Glazers sell a significant portion of shares that aren't the publicly traded ones. So yeah, he will have had first refusal, but it might be his doing to bring this party to the table, because we don't know anything about anything at the moment, do we? We don't know. We don't know what we don't know.
Kind of waiting, but I think everyone's just keen to see the back of the Glazers, isn't it? And I think some of the
genuine sausage roll party.
Yes, and some of the there's been, everyone's not completely enamoured with the Ineos tenure so far, so that has also highlighted to people that it will be great to see the back of the Glazers and to get rid of him, but you also don't necessarily know straight away how good the new owners will be in themselves.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
Total stab in the dark. Total stab in the dark. Like, you could go out of the frying pan into the fire. You could go from apathetic owners that lumbered debt onto us and find an owner that wants to extract even more, wants to put the prices up to 10x, wants to franchise us out to somewhere in the Middle East or to America or something like that, wants to pick himself or his kids, like, because you've had those, haven't you? Was there one in South America not so long ago? I'm pretty sure I saw where the club president put his fucking like 15-year-old son on the pitch and was picking the team himself. The picking the team yourself from club presidents is a big one. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, Marinakis ain't far from doing that, Forrest.
To be fair, you're right. Yeah. If he had sons of age, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them ended up in the squad.
He just looks like someone that doesn't really get told no, does he?
Ever.
He does, and I feel like you could be in a bit of trouble if you do. That's the vibe he gives.
But I almost want my billionaires to have a black ops side to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. When they own
a bit like I'm looking like I'm dressed for at the moment.
When they own like all the docks on the side of the country.
Yeah. I would be like, you cut me up in traffic. Like, and I'm talking the most minor shit like that ever.
And the way he just alternates between like different coloured plain t-shirts. That's just constant fit. So such billionaire coded, isn't it?
I don't know if I really looked at it like that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they always, the whole thing about how they don't dress like flashy and lavish and full of designer, like you'd think that people as rich as them would, where they just usually just dress really standard.
Yeah, you say really standard, but then you find out that the t-shirt that they're wearing is like 500 quid. That happens a lot.
It won't, man. It'll just be from Uniqlo or something.
Anyway, got any more questions before we dip? Thoughts on Shea Lacey training with England and not getting a look in at United yet?
I think that is apparently like, it does happen when you need numbers, where like the under-20s, under-21s, that might be St James's Park, but you'll still have to be hand-selected, so, you know, get a few of them to join.
Yeah, because you can't come in and balls the session up, can you?
Yeah.
But I know the likes of, was it Rio and Frank Lampard or Rio and Michael Owen were in and around the squad for the whole of Euro 96? Like before they even made like first team debuts and stuff like that. So like this sort of thing happens frequently, like, you know what I mean? But I think Rio's got a really cool story about going down one night. I don't know if it was before the Scotland game. He said it on camera, so I'm not breaking any fucking rules here, like, but about he'd gone down into like the team room where the PlayStation was one night and Gazza's on the sofa with a bottle of wine in Euro 96. And he was fucking class. Super chat there from Brian. Sick of the fast food football fan. Give Ineos a chance. This has to stop. So much guff and negativity. Crazy. I think it's driven a lot by the 24-hour news cycle. TalkSport and Sky Sports especially are just fucking...
So we come in every day. Obviously, we're in an office. Sky Sports, it's
just on upstairs. It's on that TV right behind this telly here.
Constantly. And I stopped watching Sky Sports properly a while. The only time I really see it is because I'm in the office, and it's on all day, and it's just repeated nonsense. But it's also like you can see how much of a struggle it is for Sky Sports News these days just to keep up any sort of relevance, because they have nothing to talk about. They usually have nothing to talk about, and if they do talk about something, they'll be further forth to the news, because obviously Twitter being the main place of journalism now. And it just seems like... Twitter is your news source, isn't it now? Sky Sports is a bit of a hard watch now. I think they've obviously almost tried to pivot it towards... They've seen fan media on YouTube content, so they make those type of shows now on there.
Do you know what pisses me off about Sky Sports News, apart from the content?
Yeah.
It's the fact that they have so much of their... This is a premium news channel.
Yes.
It's a subscription news channel. Do you know what I mean? With all of the money that it's paying towards having the rights to show the football and stuff like that, so much of their content is someone wearing AirPods on a webcam. It's not good enough, is it?
Well, they ask people to come on in it, and if they live across the country, then what?
No, I totally get that, but that's not good enough, is it? It's just become the accepted way of doing things, but it's not good enough.
Oh, you've seen like some people turn up when it goes on them, it's like portrait, and it's like underneath their chin, it's just they've filmed it on the phone.
Crap. It's crap.
But isn't that on the person that's filmed up?
Yeah, but it's also on Sky for allowing that. Have some fucking standards. Do you know what I mean? No. Right, let's wrap it up anyway, because I've got an issue I need to fix and he's ringing me right now. So, nice one everyone that's tuned in. We'll see you in the next one. Laters. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.